Hey there, Joy Seeker. I'm Jenn Zingmark, your LDS life and divorce coach, here to help you navigate the challenges of divorce with faith, grace, and resilience. Today, we are talking about something that can make or break any relationship. Communication. And I mean all relationships, whether it's your former spouse, your children, your coworkers, or even your new romantic partner. Communication is essential in all of our relationships. Now, let's be real. Divorce often magnifies every little communication struggle that we already had in our marriage. And suddenly we're faced with some really tough conversations about co parenting issues or finances or boundaries or moving forward. If we don't learn how to communicate well, we can end up in a never ending cycle of frustration, misunderstandings, and unnecessary conflict. I want to help you break that cycle by teaching you a simple but powerful communication technique to help you navigate difficult conversations with confidence and clarity and grace, of course. Dealing with an ex can be tricky at the best of times. The relationship with your ex may be one of the most challenging, complicated relationships you have to deal with in your life. So, it is the ideal place for you to practice improving your communication skills. So, I want to introduce you to a simple but powerful method that can completely transform the way you approach difficult conversations. It's called the SCI communication technique, and it is a kind, Christ like approach to expressing yourself with clarity, respect, and love. Even when emotions are high, this method helps keep the conversation constructive instead of combative. But before we get started, if you've ever had a conversation with your ex that felt like negotiating world peace, hit that subscribe button. And I promise I've got more tips to make your life easier. So make sure you don't miss them by subscribing now. Before we dive into the technique, let's talk about why communication is so important, especially in the wake of divorce. First, it reduces conflicts. The way you communicate can either add fuel to the fire or put it out. When emotions run high, a poorly worded text or even a defensive tone in your voice can escalate a simple disagreement into a full blown argument. We all know how quickly this can happen. Second, it helps set healthy boundaries. Good communication isn't about saying more. Sometimes it means saying less. And it's about saying what needs to be said in a way that is clear and respectful and firm. Boundaries protect your peace, and the right words can help you enforce them. Third, it models healthy communication for your children. If you're co parenting, your kids are watching you. They learn from how you handle disagreements by watching your behaviors, your mannerisms, the words that you use, your tone of voice, even all of those nonverbal cues that you're sending. And four, it builds a better future. Divorce is not the end of your relationships. It's just the beginning of new relationship dynamics. Whether you are a co-parent or you share mutual friends, your ability to communicate effectively will shape your future interactions. So, how do we improve our communication? That's where the SCI communication technique comes in. And I'm so excited to share this with you. I have used it in my life for the last few years and I love it. You can apply it to almost every situation. So let me break it down for you. S stands for soften. Start with something positive. Express appreciation or acknowledge something good about the other person. C stands for clarify. So use I statements when you do this to express how you feel. No blaming, no attacking, just honest, clear communication. I stands for invite. Open the door for dialogue by asking their thoughts, inviting them to share their feelings, or by making a request. Now, this approach helps diffuse tension. It keeps the conversation productive and encourages a solution-focused mindset. I love it. It works in every situation. I'm going to give you lots of examples so you can see how to apply it in all of your relationships. Now, let's go through several real life examples of how to use SCI when you're communicating with your former spouse or anyone you like. And let me go ahead and share with you, if I ever share names when I'm telling you about clients or stories, I either have the client's permission to share the story or I've changed the names to protect their privacy. Don't worry. All of your conversations or anything that you share with me privately in coaching is always held in confidence. So let me give you the first example of how to apply the SCI communication technique. Let's say your ex has a habit of returning the kids late, which messes up bedtime routines and creates unnecessary stress, along with being disrespectful. Instead of sending a frustrated text like, "Why can't you be on time for once? This is ridiculous." Try the SCI approach. So first, soften. "Hey, I really appreciate that the kids always have a good time with you. I can tell they look forward to your time together." Start with something positive, a compliment, something you appreciate about the other person. C, clarify. "I feel really frustrated when the drop-off time keeps getting pushed back because it throws off our evening routine. I rely on that consistency to help the kids wind down before bed." Notice the I statements there. No attacking, no blaming. So let's invite. "Would you be open to setting a more structured schedule? Or do you have ideas on how we can make this work better for both of us?" Do you see how it's just an invitation to engage in further dialogue? By starting with appreciation and avoiding blame, you're more likely to get a cooperative response rather than a return attack or defensive posture. Let's talk about a different conversation. Let's say you're discussing money. Let's say your ex is behind on their financial obligations and you need to discuss it with them. Instead of sending an angry email demanding payment, try the SCI approach. First, soften. "I know that managing post-divorce finances is stressful for both of us, and I appreciate the times you followed through on our agreement." Clarify. "I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed because I haven't received the last payment we discussed. It is putting me in a tough spot financially." Invite. "Can we find a way to work this out? I'd love to hear if there's something on your end that's making it difficult so we can come up with a plan that works for both of us." This approach focuses on the problem. It doesn't attack or blame the other person, making it easier to focus on the real problem, which is you haven't been paid yet, and how do we get to a solution that fixes that problem without more drama, angry email or text exchanges, or a blow up in person or on the phone. Okay, let me share one more example to show you how to apply this method in a different situation. Handling hurtful comments gracefully. Let's face it, sometimes our former spouse can make rude or even passive aggressive comments. Maybe they say, "Well, it's no surprise the kids don't listen to you. You always let them get away with everything." Ouch, right? That doesn't feel good. And the natural inclination is to want to reply with something that's hurtful in response. But I want to challenge you to pause, take a breath, and apply the SCI method. Use your higher brain, your prefrontal cortex, to make a decision about how you want to show up in this relationship. And having this plan, having this little formula to follow makes it so much easier when you get triggered and your emotions are high. First, let's soften our approach. You could say something like this: "I know we both want what's best for the kids, and I appreciate that you're involved in their lives." Clarify. "When I hear comments like that, I feel hurt because I try my best as a parent, just like you do." See how you're putting the other person on the same level as you? You're basically leveling the playing ground and you're not putting yourself in a one up or them in a one down position. You're staying level in your communication. invite. I'd love for us to be able to talk about parenting concerns in a productive way. If you have any suggestions, I'm open to hearing them. Refusing to take the bait when someone says something hurtful and responding gracefully will set the tone for a more respectful conversation. Here's the deal. Communication isn't about changing them because that's not going to happen, friend. You know that's true. That's why you're not married to them anymore. It's about choosing how you want to show up in every relationship, in all of your relationships, in every situation. The goal of effective communication isn't about winning an argument. It is about building understanding and maintaining peace even when you're no longer in a relationship with someone. When we communicate with kindness and clarity and a spirit of invitation or curiosity, we're not just improving our relationships, we're showing Christ-like love in action. So, the SCI method will help you lead with kindness, express yourself clearly. It will help you reduce conflict and give you a formula to follow when you're triggered. It will also help you find solutions instead of fueling arguments and just creating more conflict in your life. So here's my challenge for you. Try the SCI communication technique this week. Use it with your ex, with coworkers, with a family member, and pay attention to how it shifts your communication. My ultimate goal is to help you learn to communicate as effectively and concisely as possible so that you can move on with your life and not get stuck in the drama that so many people do when divorce is part of your story. If you're prepared, you shall not fear, right? Following this communication plan will help you be prepared when conflicts do arise and streamline your communication, make it more effective, and reduce the stress that conflict causes. Applying the SCI communication strategy will improve your communication with everyone in your life, help you stay calm, and show up as the best version of yourself. I have another podcast episode focused on improving communication with your ex, and it's episode 116. I'll make sure I link that in the show notes if you want to learn more about communicating with your ex and how to improve your communication skills. So make sure you check that out to get more great information on this topic. And hey, if this episode has helped you, please share it with a friend who might need it. We all deserve healthier, more peaceful communication in our lives. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Joy Seekers, you are stronger than you know. And I want you to remember you are not alone in your divorce journey. You are capable of rebuilding a beautiful, faith-filled life after your divorce. You have so much more power than you think over your happiness and your future. You get to create the future you want to have as you learn tools and skills and have support in doing that. And I'm so thrilled to be your coach and help you in this journey. So until next time, take care and keep building relationships that matter. And don't let bad communication keep you stuck. Subscribe right now and let's get you talking like a pro, even to your ex. Keep seeking joy, friend. Hold on to your faith and moving forward confidently. You've got this. Bye, y'all.